This video is sponsored by Level 8. More on that in a minute. Welcome back, everybody. I've got a lot of favorites here, so I'm going to dig right in. I'm going to start with updates. So I made a few playlists actually. I made a playlist for Virgil Normal, which came out a few weeks ago. My intention for this playlist is that it was made for skaters or skate videos because I've watched a lot. Not really watched, but I'll listen to the music, and I love how in a skate video they go through a bunch of different genres. They don't just stick with soul or jazz or hip hop. People like to switch around, and there's, different skaters for different parts. So sometimes they choose their own music, sometimes they don't, but I've discovered so much music through that world. So I made a playlist with that intention, with songs I think would go well together in that arrangement in a skate video. So if you're interested in that, I'll have that linked below. And then I also made 3 jazzy playlists for Wild, which is a gummies company. There's an uplifting playlist, a relaxing playlist, and a balanced playlist. It's mostly jazzy songs. A lot of these songs are hip hop breaks, beats, and samples. So if you spot them, let me know. Earlier this month, it was my cousin's first daughter's birthday. I drew out a pattern and made a teddy bear out of corduroy because I believe one of her Amazon wishlist items was a book about a bear named Corduroy. And I thought the bear was made from corduroy, so then I made this bear, and then when I looked back at the book as a reference, he was wearing corduroy overalls, so something completely different. I think it's still cute, and the great thing about making these teddy bears is that if anything were to happen to them, like if an eye falls off or there's a tear on the seam, I can always come in and fix it. I mean, I can for any other stuffed animal as well, but for this, it's a bit more sentimental. I've been really into sewing these teddy bears lately and saving ideas for them because a lot of the people in my life are having kids right now, and I don't know, I just think it's cute. Finally, back in the ceramic studio a bit more. These I didn't make at the studio. I made these at home when I was sick, but I've been going in a little bit more and hanging out with the people there, and it's been really fun to have a community again and just be excited about what I'm making. And so I made these 2 items that I'm pretty excited about. I made this boot. It's a Luggage boot called the Joan, and it's a striker. I made it with lines on the bottom. I haven't made boots in a while because I got I don't know, my motivation kind of died off when I was producing a lot. So that's why I took a long, almost year-long break from ceramics. But now that I'm making things again slowly, I've been a bit more excited about it. So this is my Luggage fan art. And then I also made these cups right here. These are just pinch pot cups that are tomato red. And the reason why I made this was because I've been watching Bella Freud's podcasts, it's called Fashion Neurosis, where she interviews people in a podcast style, but it's done in her home, which is a beautiful home. And they're lying down, and it's almost like a therapy session, and it's in video form, but also in podcast form. And then one of the videos that was suggested after one of the videos that I watched was a video on her house and her collections, or things that she likes around her house. And one of the items, or 2 of the items, are these pinch pot cups that her friend made her. And pinch pot cups are one of the first things that they teach you how to make when you do ceramics. I just thought it was so charming because in her home, Bella Freud's home, all her pieces are very intentional and kind of quirky and artsy. So to see something so elementary in her home made by a friend, it just kind of elevates it in a way. So I decided to make my own. Of course, there's 10% shrinkage, so it's a lot smaller than I intended it to be. I'm excited to use it for tea ceremonies. I want to take a moment to talk about our sponsor for this video, which is Level 8. Level 8 is a luxury luggage brand. Whenever I travel, I always opt for a carry-on because I just hate the idea of losing my luggage, and I like to have everything with me, so I always go for the smallest size possible. And so I got to pick out the Captain Aluminum Pro, which is a 20-inch luggage. It's made with aerospace grade aluminum and magnesium alloy. It's keyless and zipperless, so you just punch in your code and there's no zipper, so everything just kind of locks in, which I really enjoy. It makes it feel luxurious, almost like one of those briefcases that you carry a bunch of money in a casino movie, At the top there's an embedded wide handle, and it sits completely flat. So once you have everything collapsed, it's a completely flat surface on top, so you can use that to put your laptop on and continue working. Use that as a side table. You can even prop up the handle and use it as your iPad stand. Whenever I'm traveling, like any tabletop is so useful. You can even sit on it. The wheels are ultra quiet 360 durable spinner wheels, and there's a lifetime warranty as well. And the reason why I went for this carry-on in particular is because I was looking for something that I can also use not only for traveling, but I wanted it for my camera kit, because I often do carry a lot of equipment around, like my camera, my tripod, my lenses, my batteries, audio equipment, and I just wanted it all in one spot. And then also use it as my makeup kit, because I have done wedding makeup where I had to pack a bunch of makeup and also brushes and also hair stuff all in one space. So I just thought this would keep everything organized, and the flat top would be perfect for that as well. I just think it's such an elite suitcase. So I'm really excited to travel and bring this to work. And they also have a bunch of different suitcases as well if you are interested. I know the suitcase that I picked is a bit pricey, but they do have other suitcases that are super affordable and come in really fun colors as well. So if you're interested in that, I'll leave a link in the description. Let's move on to what I've been watching on YouTube at the moment. So Stephen Contarsi. Okay, so he's on TikTok. He's a fragrance reviewer. He does Lucky Scent and Scent Bar, and super informative, and I love the way he tells stories. And I always thought, yo, he would do so well in long format, like on YouTube. And guess what? He just started a YouTube channel, and it's a little bit longer form. It's not too long, but his storytelling is incredible. So he goes into his childhood, he goes into all the different places that he's lived, and obviously it all reconnects into the world of scent and fragrance. You know the saying, all art informs other arts. Well, he lives that saying. Like, he's a true artist in my opinion, in that he makes music. He makes his own music for his videos. He dresses well. He makes his own incense. He's really into perfume, and the vocabulary that he uses for the perfume is just astounding. He puts a lot of thought into his videos and his home, and it's quite sweet to hear about his childhood and his influences and how stories reconnect in a way that circles back to fragrance. I've been loving his channel, and he posts a new video every Saturday. Check out his channel, check out his TikTok. He deserves a wider audience. Also on TikTok, I discovered this woman named Sierra O'Day, and she makes these wonderful, classy fashion videos, often wears dresses and skirts, ultra feminine, super fun, wears a lot of like hair barrettes and high heels, just a classy lady. And then I found her on YouTube, so longer format, essay style, more my vibe. So I've been binging that, and I love her sense of humor too. I think she's so funny. Follow her and watch her stuff. And then in my recommended videos, I feel like some of the best videos come from there. In my recommended videos, I was recommended Young Hai Shop. It's a channel about cooking with steam, and they use this thing called a tatong. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's hosted by a woman named Lisa Chang Smith, and she has a shop in New York called Young Hai Shop, and they sell a lot of Taiwanese food and snacks, and they also sell the rice cooker, the dadong rice cooker. So in this channel, Cooking with Steam, they show you how to use the dadong, which is kind of like an Instant Pot, but stripped down completely. So there's an on-off switch, and that's it. And so that really got my attention, because I remember using a rice cooker similar to this when I was like super, super young. And throughout the years, I feel like rice cookers have gotten, I mean, I don't even feel this way. Most people feel this way. Rice cookers and Instant Pots have gotten so much more complex, where you have to read the manual for like 2 hours to understand what's going on, because there's so many different switches and options. So you get paralysis in a sense. And I love the idea of the tatong, because it's just an on-off switch, and all it is measured by the amount of water that you put into your pot. This is so exciting to me, because I already love cooking with steam at home with my rigged steam basket. Not even a steam basket, it's a colander inside a pot that I use as a steamer. I was just so excited about this channel, and so I reached out to them, and we're going to collaborate sometime soon. But the reason why I felt so compelled to message them is because as I was watching this video, it felt like I was just hanging out like at the counter of my sister's house, like in her kitchen. And it just felt so informative, but also informal. And I love how approachable it seems. And she's also using a lot of the ingredients and tools that I already have at home. So yeah, if you're into cooking, or if you just want a high production video like hanging out with someone as they're cooking, definitely check out Young High Shop. There's a show called Togetherness that's on HBO, and it's filmed mostly in Eagle Rock and Highland Park area. So like the area that I live around. So there's a lot of recognizable places in that show. It kind of reminds me of Love, the show. But Togetherness is about a group of people, I believe in their 40s or maybe late 30s. They have kids, some don't, and they're just trying to, navigate life and their marriage and their kids and what they want to do for their future. I really like that show because I'm 36, so I'm around that age. And so I'm thinking a lot about family and kids and career and all of that stuff. And this show touches on every subject and every insecurity. So it felt really relatable. And then another show that we just started, which Jason's already seen, I believe, is called What We Do in the Shadows. And it's a hilarious comedy. It's a comedy, okay? It's about vampires, so it does get kind of gory, but it's also like overly done that it's not spooky in any sense. So it's about vampires that have lived thousands of years, and it's a mockumentary, almost in the way of The Office. And they go and interview the vampires. And, obviously there's the blood-sucking vampires, the classic, wearing all black, can't eat garlic. So all those vampires live together almost like a sorority home or a boarding home. And then there's one vampire who looks completely normal. He looks almost like Dwight Schrute, but bald. And he is an energy vampire. So he just sucks the energy out of you. So he just approaches someone and just talks them into boredom until they're sucked of all their energy. And then he gains energy from that. So it's hilarious. It's on Hulu. An album that really caught my attention is from Sean Ono Lennon, and it's from 1998. And it's called Into the Sun, which is a wonderful song as well. And the song following that is called Home. Those two songs are my favorite songs off that album. But that entire album really caught my attention because I had no idea he was that talented. There's jazz in this album, there's alternative rock, there's bossa nova a little bit. It's a wonderful surprise because the last time I saw him was so this album was in 1998. I saw him perform, I think in like 2012 for a Serge Gainsbourg tribute with his girlfriend at the time. And they performed a song together and it was just horrific. I remember watching that and just being kind of like pissed off because I thought that he was just Yoko Ono and John Lennon's son and that they only chose him to perform because he's famous. And every other performer who was there did such a wonderful job for the most part. Beck was there, Mike Patton was there, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Every other performer did such a wonderful job. So in comparison, they were just horrific. And so I kind of wrote him off as any type of artist, right? It was just like, he's not talented. And then this song popped up on my friend's Spotify and I was just like, what is this? Just really caught me by surprise. And then I was told that the whole album is really good. And so I listened to it. And then I listened to it through like, I think 5 or 6 times. And it's wonderful. I was so wrong. He's super talented. I got a bunch of new fragrances this past month. I've been really into fragrances. This is from Cyclar. I actually got some last month as well, but I totally forgot to include it in my favorites video. I opened them all up and put them on these pillars that they also sent. So there's quite a few of them. Well, there's 8 total. And they're all skin scents. They're not too loud, not offensive, not really mixed with anything. It's not overly complicated. Of this collection, the one that I liked the most, right when I got it, was Bergamot Bon, which is also what I use as my body wash. But then after using it over and over again, like all 8 of these, Sex Musk. I know the name is kind of silly, but Sex Musk is my favorite cozy skin scent. And my mom used to wear something like this, and I swore by it too, or I swore that she wore something like this too. And my friend who was working at Le Labo was like, oh, we have a musk. Do you want to smell it? So I smelled it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it smells just like my mom. So I brought the little tester home to her to smell it, and then she's like, no, I didn't. It's as if she's like gaslighting me because it's such a strong memory in my childhood, and yet she's like, no, I never wore something like this. I'm like, No, you did. You really did. And there's vanilla verb, which I also really like. So if you like vanilla, but you don't want something sickeningly sweet, this is it. But all the scents really are fantastic. What I will say about these oils is that it won't last long unless you put a lotion on underneath. So make sure that you do that if you were to get any of these. But an individual one starts out at a pretty reasonable price. I think it's about like $25, $24 each. Sex Mask is my favorite at the moment. And then I have 6 more to share with you. This one is from a brand called Sniff, which I just discovered, and they have a scent called Me. And I heard that this is kind of a dupe for the Baccarat fragrance, which I don't really know about, but I do like this. It's a very clean, warm, you-type scent. You know how it's kind of difficult to buy fragrance as a gift for people? I feel like this one is a good crowd pleaser. Another crowd pleaser is 12 O'Clock by Noise. To me, it's a little bit brighter than the Sniff one, but it's still a skin scent and also a crowd pleaser, and I think it would be a good gift. Clean, soft, and gentle. And then I got one from a brand called Heretic, and it's Dirty Hinoki. It's a plant-based eau de perfume. This is something I would get for someone who likes to meditate because it's a little bit earthy, but also like bright, kind of citrusy. It smells really good. Also, you know, it's Dirty Hinoki, so it's a wood scent. It almost smells like a gin and tonic to me. It's very much a unisex scent. And then I have another 3 here. This is from Fleur. It's Golden Rule. It's a very sweet scent. I think there's mandarin oranges in this. If you like Sol de Janeiro's Boom Boom Cream, the classic one, I think you would like this too. The gourmands, the sweet scents. I love spraying them in the air and then walking through them because you just get a little bit of it and it's almost like a pick-me-up, but it's not too sweet. If I get too much of a spray, then I'll have headaches down the line, right? But if you spray it in the air and then walk into it and it just like lands on your skin and then you layer clothes on top, it's perfect. And then I have Black Opium Glitter. I swear at this point I have every single Black Opium. I'm obsessed with these scents. It's a coffee undertone. I love the scent. I don't like it initially when I spray it in the air, but once I've worn it for a couple hours and it's really melted into my skin, and when it lands on a shirt that you're gonna put back on again, or a jacket or a sweater, like just getting a little whiff of it the day after or a couple days after, it's so nice. So this is a coffee and marshmallow sweet scent. And the last one I have here is from Valentino. It's the Donna Born in Roma. This one has been my favorite. I've been using the most the last month. The packaging is so not my style. It's like studs. It looks very rock and roll punk chick. It's not my style, but it is my guilty pleasure. Florals, vanilla. It's a sweet gourmand scent. To me, it's just so fresh. And again, like the other gourmands that I talked about, as soon as I spray it, I don't really like it. But then once it's melted into my skin and I'm wearing it under my clothes and I get a little whiff of it here and there, I'm just obsessed with it. The Cyclar oils and the first 3 fragrances I talked about that are skin scents, they smell really good upon first spray, but then after a while, I feel like it melts into my skin and I don't really smell it as intensely. Whereas this is the opposite. It starts off too intense, and then after I wear it for a while, I start to really like it. And hours, even days down the line, I continue to like it. So that's why I like these scents so much. I just got these blushes from Glow Recipe. They're the Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dewy Finish. So they're skincare before they are blushes. I have 2 colors here, Watermelon Flush and Berry Flush. I did powder on top of them, which I don't always do. When I don't powder on top of them, they just look so glowy and beautiful. It's super hydrating and leaves my skin nice and juicy. And I really like using one as like the berry color as the base layer and then adding the Watermelon Flush right on top as like a pop of color right on top. I'm pretty sure that's called draping. I really like that combination together. This is a new lip balm from Necessaire that I've been obsessed with. It's incredibly hydrating. I know I talk about a new lip moisturizer basically every monthly favorites, but I stopped using all the other ones and started using this one. This is Necessaire the Lip Balm. It's a multi-ceramide barrier balm, and the scent is mint. And I love this metal applicator. It's deeply hydrating, and it's also vegan. And I think the packaging is also very cute. So yeah, this is the one that I've been reaching for the most. And then I just noticed that my pores have been really showing up whenever I do close-ups on videos. And so I've been loving this Kosas, what is it called? The Cloud Set Translucent Candy Rose Ultra Transparent. So it's the pink color, but there's also a butter color and a bunch of different colors too. I really like this because it does mattify my face enough. So it takes away the shine, but then it also leaves the glow. So I still have some dimension in my skin after using this, though it does minimize my pores completely and also fine lines and texture and all of that. So it's great for photo shoots. It's great for close-ups. There is a puff, which is used for like baking, but I don't really bake. So I've been using a brush like this to just loosely apply everything on and then sweep everything back off. And then sometimes whenever I apply the powder, sometimes I'll do this. I'll apply this Adem face spray, and it's the Mammy Water Ultra Calming Rescue Mist, and it smells like coconut. It's meant to calm redness and irritation, but I just really like it because it's kind of like a relaxing hit. The packaging is so cute too. Have you tried anything from Adem? Is there anything that you recommend? Because this is my first product from them. I talked about this in my last video, but I just got this necklace from Bowako. It's a Japanese pearl company. They make necklaces, they make bracelets, rings, earrings that are stunning. This is their Baroque choker. It's made with freshwater pearls. The embellishments and the clasp in the back is made with 24 karat gold vermeil. I really like this because the last couple of years I noticed that a lot of men are starting to wear pearls, and I just think it's so cute that people of all ages, people of all genders are wearing pearls. It adds a little femininity, but a bit of edge to their look. And I think it's so cute when it's like peeking out of your shirt, kind of like this. So just a little bit here and there. I love that look. And I love it with a casual t-shirt or like a band tee or just a plain white shirt. But I've also been watching Gossip Girl and Succession and seeing how they incorporate pearls. And that's a lot more posh and sometimes even traditional. So anytime I see pearls, I'm like, wow, what's that? You know, and just, it really catches my attention. So I've wanted a pearl something for so long, and then I finally got this and I've been really excited about it. And it's an heirloom piece, so it's definitely something that I'm going to keep nice and then pass it down for generations. It did come in this really nice case, and so I can store my necklace in whenever I'm not using it, so I can keep it safe. But I'm definitely going to try and keep this in really nice condition. Yeah, I just love that this can look timeless and elegant, but also punk at the same time, depending on what you're wearing. A couple of videos ago, I talked about this bag right here that I got from Quince. It's an Italian leather suede purse with a bunch of pockets. I adore this thing. I'll link the video in the description if you're interested. I've been carrying this to work and I really like it, and I can't believe it's only $150. Something like this should be like $450. The quality is incredible, and I can't wait to like break it in and really wear it out. There's a couple colorways, but I got the chocolate, the darker color. And then also from Quince, I got these Ponte pants, which I've been wearing. They're in the wash right now, but I really like them because they're wide leg and they're long, so they go all the way to the ground, and they look great with heels or an ankle boot. The reason why I got these is because a few months ago, I saw a photo of Lizzie Hadfield, I think. She was wearing a suede jacket, which I have a ton of suede jackets. And so when I saw her wearing that, I'm like, oh, cool. This outfit looks great. She was wearing all black underneath. I think she was wearing a black turtleneck and then black trousers that have a little bit of a flare on the bottom. And so I Googled that really quick. And so I Googled black flared pants. And then I saw one from Spanx that caught my attention. But then I thought about it for a little bit. I'm like, you know what? I could probably thrift something like this. So I closed the tab, and then I started getting ads for that, and then ads for another brand called Riley Raider, I think is what it's called. I forget. But anyway, I started getting tons and tons of ads for that. And then Quince sent me an ad for one. And I'm like, oh, that caught my attention because it was $50 and everything else was like $200. And the only thing that I don't like about the Quince pant is that the weight is very thin, which could be good if you want like a pajama style pant, like a very comfortable pant. But I was hoping that it would be a little bit more structured and a little bit heavier. I guess I wanted the pants to like kind of suck me in a little bit, but these felt really loose, which is good, especially if you're on your period or something like that. But I was looking for something a little bit different, but the shape is right. From Everlane, I got the ranch jacket, which I wore in that video, and a lot of people were asking me about it, and a lot of people ask me about it whenever I'm wearing it in real life as well. Yeah, I really like it. It's a classic shape. There's a corduroy collar. I feel like that jacket, because of farmer jackets right now being so popular, that's a really good shape right now. And I feel like it'll also be timeless because it's not full on farmer jacket. So it hasn't gone to that threshold yet. And so if I wear it next year, it will still be relevant. From Cezanne, I got espadrilles, which I talked in my last video, which is a uniform video. I've had so many espadrilles in the past. I've had one from Castanier and then also Saludos. And they've either been really uncomfortable or they've worn out completely. And I wanted to try it again because I do really like the look of espadrilles. And so I got this pair. And the reason why this one piqued my interest is because front is kind of like a V shape. It doesn't just cut right across the toes. It goes down into a V. It's almost like a V-neck for your shoes. I got them and they are incredibly comfortable. I wore them for like a few hours the other day walking around Freeze Art Show. They were incredibly comfortable. They're nice and cushiony. There's a nice pitch on the heels, so I feel like it's really supporting my foot all the way through. And so I'm not just putting a lot of pressure on the balls of my feet, you know? So I can wear it for hours and still feel fine. If you haven't heard of Detox Market before, they sell a bunch of products that are non-toxic. I've discovered a lot of new brands through them. So this is called Palm. It's the overnight hand and foot hydration mask. I've been using this as soon as I get out of the shower and then also at night on my hands as well and my cuticles, and it's been working great. So yeah, I've been really into this brand right now. I really like their hand cream. I have that in my car right now. It's not overly greasy. It does a great job hydrating my skin without like feeling sticky. I gotta mention these All Roads napkins. My sister got me a set for Christmas and I love how they look. Look at this plaid. All Rose is a store and also a brand out of Yucca Valley. They make these really cute t-shirts with circles on them. I think that's what they're known for. At this house, we mostly use napkins and we're trying to not use paper towels as much. And so whenever we eat a meal, we grab one of these. And I really like the size of this. So those are all my favorites for the month of February. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.